Yabareka Yahweh Veishmerika Yahweh Yair Panav Elika Vikunecha Yahweh Panav Elika Ve'asem Laka Shalom Ve'asem Laka Shalom. Amen. Amen. Ashayo. May the Most High bless us. May the Most High keep us. May the Most High shine its face upon us. It will bless us. It will keep us. And it will give us peace. Shalom. Amen.
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 All right, let's get started. So we are here live, direct in effect at Situations Media Entertainment Studios, home of 102.6 The Situation, or I should say the 102.6 Situation, because it's only one of us. And of course, we are blessed and honored to have Yaki Awakening in the building today. So I just want to say this is definitely an honor and a privilege to have you here, and I'm just expecting us to have some impact.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Fun, some information, and some impact. So, of course, everyone can say, Yaki is a master healer. You're a Reiki spiritualist healer. But, really tell us who you are at the core of Yaki. Who are you?
At the core of me, who I am a servant to my people. At the core. So if we're talking about who is Yaki, Rapha, Elohim, in its essence, it will be a servant to his community, to his people. That's who I am.
All right. And so one of the other questions I have for you, we talk about supportive family. No one is an island. No one does it alone. How important is that for you in this purpose-driven, life that you're living, that you have a good support system, that you have a good family behind you? And what part do they play in you, being in this courageous role?
I mean, I think my family is one of the most important puzzle pieces to do what I'm doing because, I'm always traveling. I'm always on the road, doing seminars, doing lectures, doing shows, doing radio interviews, doing podcasts. So, we running 3 clinics. Not only is we running 3 clinics, I have a full operational distribution warehouse. So, my sister, I made her a master herbalist. My mother run the warehouse. So literally without my family, y'all wouldn't be able to get herbs, packages, nothing. I have become the face of the company. I used to be the one making the own herbs. And then one day I just was like, you know what? This is becoming too overbearing for me. So I called my mama first. I'm like, Mama, quit your job. Then I called my sister. My sister, she was a kindergarten teacher at the time. I said, quit your job.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom. I just seen that Yaki is coming to Detroit. Did you want to go?
Yes, I would love to go with you.
Yaki Awakening is coming to Wayne State.
Hey, bro, did y'all know Yaki Awakening is coming to Wayne State University?
Oh, me? What?
Bro, yeah, bro, go to your Instagram right now. His Instagram, YAHKIAWAKEND.
Oh, yeah, got him all right here. Oh, yeah, he's there.
Oh, yeah.
In the Community Arts Auditorium. Yeah. We there.
Did you see that? Yaki Awakening is going to be here. Yes, Wayne State, September 30th.
That's right. Detroit, Michigan, September 30th at the Wayne State University Community Arts Auditorium. That will be the next location for the Yaki Awakening Help and Liberation Tour. That's at 450 Rudel Mall Road. That's right on the campuses of Wayne State University.
September 30th, Detroit, Wayne State University. See it?
Shalom. Peace, family. Make sure y'all come out to the Health and Liberation Conference, September 30th. You do not want to miss it.
A lot of information that you'll be able to hold on to. Let it trickle down into your family, to your seeds, and produce that generational wealth.
If you want to raise your vibrational frequency, you definitely want to be here on September 30th.
Peace, 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 love, light and healing, peace, love, light and healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I am Yaki Rafa Elohim. Everybody know me as Yaki Awakening. September 30th, we're going to be at Wayne State University at 450 Rudamar Road. Make sure you come and check us out. Click on the link below, which is eventbrite.com. Get your tickets. They selling out fast, so make sure you cop them. And I'll see y'all on September the 30th. Peace.
This is going to be powerful, family. We want to see you there.
One of my wives, I call her, walk off the job right now. I call my other sister, I need you to watch my quit. So I literally called everybody in my intermediate family and made them quit their job. You know, we took a leap of blind faith and we got it done. So without my actual family, my mama, my sister, my brother, my youngest sister, and then all the other ones that's connected to my family through them, we wouldn't be able to even have this functional system that we have built to get healing to the whole world. So I think a support system in doing what I'm doing is very, very important. Then my mama is like my best friend, you know, man, my mama like this. So she really, really helped me out when it comes to just, you know, staying encouraged, staying motivated. You know, you got to die anyway. You might as well die for something, son. Like my mama is a true spiritual gangster. Like when I was locked up in, look, when I was like, I got a story real quick. I was locked up in jail. This before I got sentenced. My first offer was 43 years, 43 years. I had just turned 21. This after a heart attack and 43 years. I want to phone my mama and I'm crying. I'm like, mama, I'm not even like 43 years is more than more than a life I'm living. So I'm crying. My mama said, boy, if you don't wipe them tears and suck it up, she was like, we gonna get through this. She was like, wipe them tears and suck it up. Don't let them people up in there see you crying. They already in there testing you. You already in there fighting. She like, suck them tears up. We gonna get through this. We gonna pray. We gonna fast. We gonna get through this. But so I had to hang up the phone. I had to wipe my tears off, look around, make sure ain't nobody see me crying. So my mama just always been that type of support for me. I remember getting into fights and, you know, my mama came back. It looked like that you the one that lost. Go back over there. Like we finna go finish. So my mama just always been the one pushing me to be the bull that I am. So I thank God for that lady. And I thank God for my sisters, my brothers, just my whole family. The support they give me really is what keep me going. And then of course, the support from the community and how they reacting to the knowledge, the intellect and the information and how they taking it and literally applying it and changing their lives and seeing all the different healing testimonies that come from it. So support is key and crucial to life. It's like a essential support. Is like a damn near an element that everybody need to be successful in this reality.
Yeah, definitely. And the courageous job that you're doing to lead the community and to just be one, you know, not to compare you to like Malcolm or Malcolm, but like you are like our modern day leader for those who want to be led. You know,
All praises.
Every time there's a message that go out, some people hear it for bear. And so for anybody that the Most High will allow that when you speak to hear, like you are a modern day hero in that sense. And so to have a strong Black woman in your corner like your mom who's pushing you, because it does take that certain level of like courage to do that, because every day that you speak, every day that you wake up and you travel, you're actually putting your life on the line.
Yeah, facts.
You know,
it's been multiple attempts on my life.
Yeah. And I'm sure, and even, you know, concerned about your family when you're traveling, even just concerned about everything that you're doing. And so I appreciate you for, because we could always say this, right? They ain't gonna listen anyway, so why should I be the one that sacrifice my life or sacrifice what I'm time with my family, time away, or just my livelihood? But when I heard you in Philly, you said the same thing you just said. You was like, I gotta die anyway, so why not die?
You gotta die for something. And you know, the crazy part is a lot of people, because I got a lot of people that be self-sabotaging themselves or self-hating themselves and projecting hate on me and say, why you doing that anyway? They not gonna listen. And I be having to slow them down and tell them to look what I have accomplished. Look how successful I am in doing what I'm doing, because I was a person who listened. I listened to Dr. Sabi. Yeah. I was one of those people that listened. I listened to Dr. Wilson, Amos Wilson. I was one of those ones who listened. I listened to John Henry Clark. I was one of those out of hundreds of thousands. I was the one who listened. I was the one who listened to Dr. Lilela Africa. I listened. I listened to John Yakanan Ben Yosef. I was one of those who listen and look at the traction and the impact that I have impacted on our people in the community as a collective consciousness. I done made a big dent. I really have. So, but I was one of those ones out of 1,000 who took it, listened, and applied the information, and then moved within the information and came up with my own thing that worked for me. So when I be hearing people saying, they ain't gonna listen anyway, I know it's gonna be at least one or two that hear this and that really apply the information and knowledge, transform and transmute their life, and then become a light and a beacon for those that's coming behind them. So I don't even really be listening to that because I'm the one who listened. So there has to be other people that's gonna listen. You see what I'm saying?
And they're on a different vibration than you. So when you listen and not listen, it's like you hear two different things anyway, right? So
Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah, that's great. And then going into my next question, right? Just thinking about this as a journey, how did you survive the days you wanted to give up, like early on? I know it was like physically hard, emotionally hard, and then from that side, but I also want to add in this component. You start off on this journey like, I'm just trying to save my life, right? I had this heart attack. I'm trying to get better. But then you like, hold on, Most High. Like, I ain't set out to be a modern day Malcolm. Like, how did I get here? So, like, what was that like to, just one, surviving the detox, then going from surviving the detox, like, hold on, the Most High would look like the heart attack was a setback. It was really a set up for my purpose.
Yeah, facts. So the heart attack basically was a catalyst to me loving myself, because I didn't love myself all those years prior, in and out of jail, in and out of gangs, being shot, committing violent crimes, doing recreational drugs, sleeping with multiple women, having a bunch of children. I was just really showing not only the universe, but showing myself that I didn't love myself. And, when you don't love yourself, loving yourself is a law that's required by nature. It's a law that's required by the Most High. It's a law that's required by the universe. And when you violate certain laws that's set up by the cosmic creator, or that's set up by the universe, or that's set up by nature, then it's a violation or a karmatic experience that come from it. The karmatic experience, or what you will call the jail time, or the justice that happened to me from not loving myself, was the heart attack. So soon as I had the heart attack, it was a self-correction there. Because I was in error. It was an error code. The heart attack really reset my neurological functioning. It reset my purpose in life. It reset my focus. It reset what really mattered to me. Because until then, I was shot. I almost died from internal bleeding. I got jumped by a bunch of Crips. They stabbed me in my neck with a 9-inch ice pick. I almost died of eternal bleeding. Even then, I didn't get it. But it was something about this particular day where I was on the hospital bed, looking at the EKG, seeing my heart rhythms, and them telling me, look, you are actively having a heart attack. It did something to me. I thought about my mama. At this time, I had my daughter. I thought about my daughter. I really started thinking about things like, damn, what would happen if I wasn't here? I had, the low thought form frequency that was telling me it'd be better if you wasn't here. But then I had a bunch of other voices in my head saying, no, you mean something. You are important. Find out what that is. And at this point, I still didn't even know it was a healer. Once I got done having my heart attack, I pursued my rap career. I just went harder in the music. I can play piano by ear. I'm a very, very good musician at playing the piano. I actually can really sing. Y'all be hearing me harmonizing when I do my prayers, but I can actually really sing. I'm a fantabulous rapper. You know what I'm saying? I can really rap. I'm a poet. I can draw. Amazing. But I'm very, very talented. I'm an acrobat. I can flip, front flips, back flips, all of this stuff. So I'm thinking that, dang, I just had this heart attack. My purpose is to be a rapper. Let me go hard in the music. But the more and more I went deeper in the music, the more the Most High pulled me from that. He pulled me from that lifestyle. And I remember one day he told me, if you don't follow what I'm trying to show you, you're going to lose everything. And it was my last show in Carbondale. And it was me and K Stylist. K Stylist had a song that was popping at the time called Booty Me Down. Booty Me Down. Y'all know you remember that song. So we in Carbondale, Illinois, this is my last time and my last show. I get money, I get paid, I go up there, and as I'm rapping on the mic, degrading the so-called black woman, or who I'm gonna call the black goddess, degrading her rapping that song, it just felt so wrong. It felt wrong, and I remember I didn't even get halfway through the song, and I ended up falling off the stage. Like, it was a crazy thing, embarrassed the hell out of myself. I'm falling off the stage. I'm like, dang, what the hell is happening? It seemed like everything was going wrong for me. And then that same day, the money wasn't right. So they didn't give me my back end. I had my friend in. They didn't give me my back end for doing my show. And then I remember going back to St. Louis. I had disconnect notices, just all types of things going wrong with the house that I was in. And then I had got my truck repoed. I had this big old red truck that ended up getting repoed. The bank, I used to work for the bank where I used to go into the banks and clean out the houses and stuff. They ended up letting me go because, they just end up doing a big old layoff. Wow. But God had told me if I kept doing this and fence straddling, trying to follow, my spirit, and then being in the streets and trying to degrade women and follow the rap career, that I was going to lose everything. It wasn't even a month later. I literally lost everything. So when I lost everything, mind you, I'm healing though. Mind you, the whole time I'm healing. I'm on this juice fast, which is the reason why I fell off the stage, because I'm on a 120-day juice fast. So I'm trying to heal myself. I'm in the wrong environment. I messed up a few times because I'm traveling, being on tour. So I'm on tour on juice, end up slipping up, eating some things that I ain't supposed to be eating. So the Most High just completely set me down. And I just went straight on my juice fast, end up healing myself. After I healed myself and I went to the doctor and I didn't have no more scar tissue in my heart, my kidneys was 100% functioning because they was trying to put me on dialysis. I didn't have diabetes no more. My pancreas was good. My A1C was good. I mean, every HC1 was good. Everything was perfect for me being on the herbs and the juices. I'm like, dang. All I had to do was just change my environment and change my lifestyle and get away from the people I was hanging with to heal my body and to feel. I was so drugged up all the time, or had alcohol in my system all the time, or was just in my feelings and my emotions, mad at life, mad at my father, because, from at that time, what I thought he was not around by choice. You know what I'm saying? So I was just so mad and angry at the world and angry at everybody. The moment that I was healed and I didn't have no alcohol in me, no cigarette nicotine in me, no marijuana in me, no cocaine in me, none of that in me, I remember sitting down like, damn, this is the first time that I can remember that I'm truly, truly sober. Wow. And that sobering experience gave me a sense of peace. Because I wasn't no longer running from myself. I was facing who I was. And I was able to look in the mirror and say, I don't like who you are. As a person, I don't like nothing about you as a person. I like your gifts. I like your talents, Yaki, but who you are as a people, as a person, what you do to people, I don't like that. And for the first time, me being sober, I was able to change it and write out a plan. So that's what really started my journey. I'm like, I'm going to start eating this way. I'm going to start living this way. I'm going to quit hanging with the brothers I was gangbanging with. I'm going to start studying and get into my books. What's crazy is, I had straight A's in school and I was never there. I used to walk in the front door of school and walk out the back of the school and be selling drugs, smoking weed all day, having sex in the back of, I'm talking about walk through the front door and walk out the back door, go to the next neighborhood over. And it was about 30, 40 of us where we just never went to school. I went to school probably a week out of the whole month. And I used to pass all my tests. I always had an A in math, an A in social study, and of course an A in science. So I always had the intellect and the intelligence, but it started getting dumbed down through all the drugs I was doing in the programming. So once I got rid of all of that and really started focusing on who I was as a person, that's when I realized, like, you don't even like who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote down this. I had a journal. I wrote down everything I didn't like. And next to what I wrote down I didn't like, I'm like, these are how you fixed them. Okay. And man, I started tackling that list. And next thing I know, I was full blown in my purpose. I'm fully healed. I'm loving myself, and my mama's seeing it. And she like, son, I don't know what you got going on, but I want some of it. And I'm like, Mom, I got these fruits and I got these herbs. So I put her on fruits and herbs. She get healed of high blood pressure and everything she was going through. Then my sisters looked at my mama. Mama, I don't know what you got going on, but I want some of it. And it's trickled down. Next thing you know, my whole family is healed. Now we all on one accord. We got one vision and one mission. So it wasn't hard for me when I made that phone call and tell them to quit their job. Like, they didn't say, let me think about it or nothing. They're like, all right, what we doing next?
You showed them the vision. You didn't talk them to death. Like some people say, say, do this, do this, do this, and then there's nothing behind it. So you showed them what you were doing, and then you didn't have to convince them. Your life reflected it.
Yeah, facts.
Going back to what you said you made these changes, but I think the number one thing that you did that the listeners need to know is that you listened.
Oh yeah, I most definitely listened.
Although you didn't probably do it initially, but you listened, and that was what changed. And do you think that's what plagues us today? When we keep saying, why I keep having this bad record? Why this is happening? Why my life is going this way? Is it us constantly ignoring the Most High?
Yeah, ignoring the voice of the Most High, or the whatever y'all want to call it. But this what I don't think we are programmed to listen. I think we are programmed biologically to be rebellious. And I think that's a good thing.
Against the system, so we can get to a
Yeah, so I mean, just if you look at any man in nature, if you look at any type of entity in nature, you know, they always are rebellion. And that's the reason why the mother have to come in and teach and nurture, because we are biologically just a rebellion entity here in this reality. And I think it's set there for a point, because we need to have struggle. We need to experience hardship. We need to experience struggle. We need to experience heartache. We need to experience all these things for we can grow. And not only do we grow and we expand from that, but when we actually get the real thing, like real love, we won't take it for granted. When we get the real thing, like being able to enjoy all the hard work that you done put in, now you're able to literally enjoy the fruits of your labor. You won't take the money, or you won't take you not having to go to a 9 to 5 for granted. So I believe that we need to be rebellion, and then through that rebellion, the universe whoop our ass, and then we self-correct. And through that self-correction, we enjoy life after that, because we know what it's like to be rebellious and to go astray. And that's the reason why I tell my children all the time now, you 16, you 17, like y'all old enough. Yes, you have millions and trust and all of these things waiting on you. If I died, you straight. But even in my trust of how I got my stuff set up, you still finna have to work, set up your own business, maintain your own business before you even be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Now I set you up, but you're not just finna get my money though when I die and blow it, because you haven't been through struggle. So I purposely make them go through struggle. Even when my children were playing with toys and stuff like that. Hold on, you want to play with toys? My 4-year-old, you finna have to work to be able to play with your toys. You want Spider-Man and you want the Black Flash and all of this. What you gonna do for me? Because that's how the world treat us. Yes. What you put in is what you get out.
Yes.
So I think we need struggle, and I think it's designed purposely by the Creator for us to have that gene of rebellious that's in us.
You know what? So it's so many questions. You already know I have like questions, but every time you speak, it's like more and more questions. But however, under my healing section of questions I have for you, I have this question, and you talked about pain, and I didn't even know you was going to go there about struggle. It says, is pain a necessary part of our healing? Does pain help us to get back to the alignment? And you just answered
it does.
About our personal, and helping us to get back to our personal growth.
Well, look, and just a physical prime example, how pain will change your life.
Okay.
A toothache. Mm-hmm. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've been burnt. My knuckles is merged from here to here from fighting so much. I got metal from here to here because I had my jaw shattered. I done been through some of the worst pain that I think any man, and it's just physical. We can't even talk about heartache because it goes way deeper. I done had all of that pain. Nothing have ever felt like a toothache. I'm talking about, I had a toothache. I felt like I damn wanted to blow my own brains out, not to feel the pain of it.
Right.
So guess what that pain did for me though? The moment that my tooth was good, I brush my teeth 3 times a day now. I make sure I use my tooth and gum powder. I floss every chance I get. I'm always walking around with a floss. I'm making sure I'm doing everything possible. So I will never experience that pain again. So the beautiful thing about pain is you're going to do everything in your power not to experience that again. So I think pain is necessary. These things is necessary. We need a certain type of stress and a certain type of cortisol in our blood at all times, because it keeps us alert. It keeps the so-called immunological system, at the front end, just in case you need T cells, B cells. It keeps you in preparation mode. All these things as humanity, we need to survive and to basically be prepared for the future that we embarking on. So, I don't really look I don't really look at duality like that. You know how people say, well, there's light, there's evil. There is a present of dark evil in this world. A man touching on a child, taking a child innocent is evil as hell. I don't know nothing more evil than something like that. A person that's out here killing innocent people is evil, is diabolical. But when we start talking about evil, like another evil or good and bad, these things are different perceptions to me. You know, you see what I'm saying? So I don't even really dive deep into the duality thing because I understand that it all depends on the side of the spectrum that you're standing on, where you can justify what we would call bad deeds, or you can say you can justify your good deeds that some people think was bad. So I just think the experience is what we was put here to do. We was put here to experience reality, but we can gain all of this data and take all of this information back to the source when we transition, for we can expand conscious.
Yeah, like what you're saying is so deep, and I hope everyone that's on the live listening is really taking it in, it because it's beyond you telling us, eat fruit, be a fruitarian, and all that. It's really starting to tap into our real emotional and our, our well beings. And when you think about pain, we talk about from a physical standpoint, but let's transition to emotional pain. And so think about where we came from as a people, slavery, Jim Crow, even the discrimination that we are facing now. Mm-hmm. Some would say we go back biblical. This is the, ordained. The Most High said we will be in the land that we didn't know. We will be, captive and all that, sold and everything like that. So as much as people say we want to get out of this captivity so we can serve the Most High the way we're supposed to, with your analogy and take on pain, although we are in the land of captivity because we can't serve the Most High the way we should be doing it, like having that freedom of not doing a 9 to 5 and all that, is this still so a necessary pain of like us, continuing to do the struggle of being discriminated against in housing and opportunities in school and work? Like, is this all a part of us ultimately rising to what the Most High is going to reclaim us to be? Because it is through this pain that we're going to rise again.
In my personal opinion, I believe slavery was put here. I believe all of these different monstrosities that we're going through, and I'm not taking anything away from slavery, but I think all of these things is a part of life. And I'm not downing American natives struggle. I'm not downing Africans being put into slavery. But if you look, we were not the only people put into slavery. Mm-hmm. We were actually prisoners of war. We have another people that came over here to the Americas, went to war with us. We didn't win that war. And from that, we became prisoners of war, and through their prisoners of war. And that's the reason, when you really look at it, why they was able to castrate us. Mm-hmm. Like if you have a slave, that means you invested in that slave. You're not finna castrate your slave. Yeah. You're not finna tie your slave to 2 horses and rip them in half. You're not finna burn your slaves and hundreds of their children alive, because these are people that you invested to make money. Mm-hmm. Any smart person or any smart businessman is not going to harm their product because they make money off their product. So, and I'm not knocking. Slavery was gruesome. It was horrible. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that we were prisoners of war. I believe that we've been in Americas. We are indigenous to Americas. I believe that these people came over here and found us here. They waged war against us. We lost the war. And through the losing of the war, we became spoils of war, what you would call captives of war. And that's the reason why they treated us like this. Now, what I do want to say is, I believe there's a purpose for everything, or I believe you can find purpose in everything, should I say. And I think that, the slavery or the prisoner of war things that our ancestors went through was for us to truly, truly unify. If you look at how this world is operating, how it's ran, it is literally 10% of the world that is controlling 90% of the world. So if the 90% just stood up and said no more, the 10% will cease to exist, but we won't. So I think we're going through all of this, and the elites are doing what they're doing, and we letting these people control our lives, control the media, control our health, control our wealth, control our food, is because we won't unify as a collective consciousness and whole and say no. So I think the whole purpose of all of this is for us to experience this. That way we can collectively move consciousness as one and unify, and then the 90% stand up and say no more. I'm not doing it. And you can't use death as your gift or as your little token bag that you wave in my face and think that just because you're going to put fear in my heart of death, that I'm not going to fight. And that's the thing that I love about fighters. That's the thing I love about what I do. Y'all, every time I go up on the stage, I get that little feeling in my stomach when I go in and I speak to thousands. Every time I had a fight in my life, I was afraid, but I still got in the ring.
And that's what courage is.
You think I want to read a book a day? I hate reading that much, but I know that I need to experience and learn and to expand, my frontal lobe to make sure I have the adequate amount of knowledge to give to my people. So everything I do every day, sometimes I don't want to do it. When I go on my juice fast and my fruit fast, I don't want to be on fruit fast for 30, 40 days at a time, especially when I'm traveling and I'm smelling good vegan food in the air. I want to eat the bull crap vegan food. But, so I just think that us as a people, we have to go against what's already installed into us to go to that default program. And we have to install new programs in us. And what the creator is trying to show us is, even though everything is against us, we need to unify. And what's crazy, if you look at it, this is the time where we need to be unifying more than ever because of what's going on in the communities, what's going on in the so-called black households, and what's going on in humanity, period. So I think we going through slavery, we're going through police brutality, we're going through all the things that the so-called black conscious community is suffering from because we won't do one thing, and that's unify physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. We need to unify collectively as a conscious whole. And I believe when we do that, guess what? We will stop experiencing those type of struggles.
Okay, so that was great. I couldn't have said it any better myself. So what does that look like though? Like we need to unify. What does that outside of I know you always talk about the food and
so we can go beyond the food. To truly unify the people, the first thing we're going to have to do is take religion off the table, because if you look at what's really dividing the people as a collective whole is religion.
Sorry, so not to cut you off, clarify, because when people think religion, they separate God's spirituality. So clarify what
I mean about religion or even spirituality, though. We need to take spirituality and religion off the table, and we need to come to a common agreement. So, for instance, me and you are Hebrew Israelites, right? But we got other people that's in Kemet that think that they're Egypts. We got other people that worship Buddhism. We need to sit down and we need to find a collective ground and a common denominator, and that's what we agree upon. No matter what religion we all agree upon, we should be able to come to the table and say, you know what, even though we all believe in a different concept of God, because if you really look at it, we're talking about the same God, but if we all believe in a different concept of God, regardless on your God concept, regardless on his God concept, regardless on his God concept, let's come together and reach a common denominator. The common denominators is the actual problems and the issues that we are suffering from in the community. So let's not worry about the God concept. Let's worry about the issues. Then based off them issues, let's create a solution without bringing our God concept in that's going to make us go to war with each other. The only time we bring our God concepts in if it's an agreement to help the issues that we're suffering from. The moment that it's at a disagreement, leave it in your household. Let's come together. Because, and I think that's the thing we need to do. The first thing is religion. And we need to study about religion, show that how religion is actually man-made. I think it need to be deeper educations on these things, showing that the belief systems we believe in come from oppressors anyway. Then once we get beyond the oppressors, we need to get into spirituality. Okay. Who said that everybody have to practice the same spirituality? Yeah. Everybody is not even...
Not to cut you off, but all religions are man-made?
Yes, all religions are man-made. Christianity was actually made in Africa before it came to the Americas. When you look at Brahmin, you look at Buddhism, these are man-made religions. This is a man that had a thought, that had an idea from nature, or through taking some type of psychedelic mushrooms, or through doing diaphragmatic breathing or fasting, abstaining from something and getting clarity from the Most High. Through that clarity from the Most High, depending on what culture he's in, depending on what language he speaks, he's going to automatically have a personal representation of how he takes what the Most High said to him. So he might say the floodgates opened up and a flood came and it was only one man that God saved. Another person might say the fountains of the grounds of the deeps open up and it came to drown out some giants out. Every religion got a flood. Okay. Every religion got a God. Every religion got consequences if you go against the natural laws and orders of the God. But all these religions got a different language, Language have different words to meanings. And once you have a language that have different words to meanings, they form different pictures. So when you if everybody get the same word from God that speaks a different language, that grew up a certain type of way, to have different belief systems installed to them by their parents, you can tell us all the same story. When we write that story down, it's going to all be a what? Different story. So we all talking about the same thing, which is passing over from our animalistic nature to a higher self. You know, fighting a beast, fighting a demon. A lot of people want to blame a devil for something. The devil was in you. The devil is your gut. The devil is your lower thought form thoughts. The devil is your addictions. The devil is your lower self. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else just depicted a different way depending on their God concept.
So can I ask you a question? Because I still want you to answer the first question. So you're saying the devil doesn't exist. It's just the evil incarnation that exists within us. And it's about us being able.
No, I'm speaking about humans. So, because I do believe that there is a dense lower thought form frequency out there that's in different celestial form. Like me, I truly believe in reptilians. There's too much evidence that from all the years I've been searching, there are different classification. You know, we talking about 9 to 10 billion people on Earth. All of these 9 to 10 billion people are not human, you know, at all. It's impossible for them to be. So I believe that there is a evil. I believe that we're in a matrix. We're in a construct. I believe that this was made by higher dimensional beings that can take on celestial form or terrestrial form. So I do believe in a evil, you know, but I'm not even talking about that evil. How can we fight that higher evil if we ain't even reached and dealt with the evil that's in ourselves first? You see what I'm saying?
Yaki, I got, not to interrupt you, but that's powerful right there, because in order for us to even recognize that the person sitting next to us is not human, we got to recognize that, like you said, that evil within us.
Yeah, you're not even doing human things. You're not doing basic, like a real human.
Work on yourself to really.
A real human is a nurturer by default.
Okay.
Why are you not a nurturing person? You have to deal with that. Was it child trauma? Did you get touched on? Did you get beat up? Did you get bullied as a child? Was your father in the household? Did your mama leave you? Was you raised by the streets? Like, it's so many traumatic things that we have to deal with inwardly before we even able to fight the devil, or who we call the devil on the outside. We need to fight the devil, and that's I love the word enemy, because it literally says the inner me. So your inner you is your enemy. We got to deal with that first before we able to. And that's why I have to be like, lead by example. I can't be out here, you know, clubbing all the time, smoking weed, eating bad food, shoving meat down my mouth when I'm teaching a total different narratives. And it seems like that's what humans do now. They teach one thing because it's a trend, but they practice another thing because that's really who they are. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to deal with who we are as individuals. And once we truly fix that, we can come together as a collective. And that's how we start turning things around. And the first step that I would do is I will teach true education about religion. Once I'm done teaching true education about religion, I will teach then put the religion to the side unless we need it in the households. Hopefully we can come together with one religion as a people, because we have the same people should have the same culture if we re-identify with our true culture. And then if we want to do a collective consciousness where we gather with other species of people, then, you know, we don't even bring in no religion. We just focus on common denominators we need. And the common denominators we need as so-called black people is, first, we don't know who we are. We don't know our identity. Who are we? When are we? What are we? Where are we? Why are we?
Can I ask you a question within that, Yaki? And trying to find that out, right? The education that we receive, whether it's a formal education in school or even going online or the books that we read, because everything is so diluted, how do we find out who we are when
Good
our
question.
basis for education is for basic
History is a lie, right?
Yes.
The math is a lie.
Yes.
The culture is a lie. The food is a lie. The science is a lie. Guess what's not a lie? Nature.
Okay.
Go back to nature. And that's what I was going to talk about. A common religion or a common spiritual system that we all can practice that's new. In order for this thing to really get right, we're going to have to do away with all the old and literally create a unified new.
Okay.
You can, if you believe in Yahweh or Yahuwah, that's cool. That's the way you call on your God. If somebody call on the other God, Eliah or Kukuya, whatever, that's cool. That's the way you call. So take your God and put it in this new system. Then the new system is something that won't lie to us. And that's nature. Go into nature. Go into nature and sit in nature and tell me if you see primates being homosexual. No, but if you go and see domesticated primates, you will see them being homosexual. So when I go into nature, true nature, and I see that the primates, who I closely assimilate with, doesn't practice homosexuality, then I shouldn't be practicing it. Now you have to have a logical reason why. Why? Because it don't bring forth life. So if you don't bring forth life, then you anti-life. So that's my first rule. I can't practice it because it's anti-life. So anything that's anti-life goes against what? Nature. That's your first commandment. Your second commandment is, what are you biologically designed to eat? Go into nature. See what you closely assimilate with. What do they eat? We closely assimilate with primates. They eat fruits. They eat berries. They eat bamboo shoots. Sometimes they eat grass and eat vegetables, or they forage vegetables for months at a time when they don't have fruits to eat if fruits are out of season. So I'm looking at the biology of something that I closely resemble, and they are frugivores by nature. So I'm going to be a frugivore by nature. You see what I'm saying? And now, if you see domesticated gorillas or domesticated primates, you see that they will eat bugs. They will eat other, even monkeys will even go as far to eat other monkeys when they're domesticated, or if they don't have anything to eat. You see what I'm saying? So now we done fix the actual God concept. We done fix bringing forth life concept. We done fix the food concept. Now I need to worry about my drinking and my hydration. Go into nature. So what I'm saying is, if we just adapt and do what all of our ancestors did, which was go into nature. Do you realize the first name of God wasn't Yahweh? It wasn't. It wasn't the names that we believe. The first name of God, when you really study ancient Africa or ancient America's traditions, whether we talking about the Choctaw tribe, whether you're talking about the Cherokee tribes, they named God based off of the sound waves and resonant frequency that they heard of the earth or of the stars. They heard it and they said it. For instance, in Africa, the waters was beating on the drums, and they heard the natural drum of raindrops hitting on the bamboo drums with the lambskin, and it was saying cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. They hearing the actual regular sounds or the symphony coming from nature, and guess what they named their God? Cuckoo, cuckoo. You see what I'm saying? So like, we need to go back there. We have to erase everything that everybody's telling us, and we need to go back to kindergarten. And nature has a way of being the universe's classroom. So we need to go back into nature. We need to study nature. We need to see how nature operates, and then we need to pull from there. And from there, we need to put together new thoughts and new ideas. And then it'll be a whole new era and elevation of thinking. And we should take that to get us out of the situation that we in. You see what I'm saying? That's what I think, because the main things that's keeping us divided is churches, is religion. So let's take away churches and religion and go back to nature, and let's rebuild from there. And then I think that would be a very, very good place to start from.
No, that was excellent. Like, that was definitely a great answer. Now, since you brought up the food, I'll just transition to food. We could go back to the spirituality. One of the things I wanted to ask you with regard to the food is the combination, right? One of the first things I heard you say about don't mix this, don't mix that, keep it separate. So I know before 12 you don't have any solid food.
Yeah.
After 6 you don't eat anything solid. Yeah. But when you do eat solid food, what does that look like? Because I think for even myself, I've been following Dr. Sebi since 2015 or whatever. And so one of the things that has helped me in that tradition, it was hard, but it was easier than I thought, was being able to cook. And so now I'm following you and I'm making my way to that transition. I'm like, Yaki, like, don't cook what I'm supposed to cook. But
what's crazy? So, and I still eat cooked food. I just eat more raw food than cooked food. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes I still mix things I'm not supposed to be mixing, but 95% of the time I'm gonna make sure my food combinations is right. Because guess what? When I go into nature, I don't see pots and pans. When I go into nature, I don't see them using canola oil, grapeseed oil to cook their foods. When I go into nature, I see that nature mono eats. Even whether we talking about carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, frugivores, all of them mono eat. They eat one thing at a time. They wait for that thing to digest and go through its natural metabolism. Then they will move on to a different selection of food. So, and it's the beautiful thing about nature is, if you study nature and you see what nature is doing, then you do the opposite. All you have to do is start getting tests on yourself, and you will see that it's a violation that's coming from going against it. So that's why we don't mix, vegetables and fruits, because it's a different period in time that the food breaks down within the digestive system, which means it's going to create alcohol, it's going to create fermentation of yeast, and then you have yeast candida albicans built up inside the system. Now you got toenail fungus, now you got bloating, you got a bunch of methane built up from the microbiota or the microbiome in your stomach because it can't break down these two processes of food. So if you look into nature, they mono eat. They eat simple. When you look into nature, they don't cook their food. And you see that these things in nature are living longer than us now. The average life expectancy of an actual man, a black man, is 70 years old. It just got lower. I think it's like 67, 68. The average life expectancy of a woman is 82 years old, a black woman. Now, this is if they healthy according to the statistics.
Okay.
We not healthy. Yeah. So you seeing us die in our late.
It with trauma.
You see that? So we're dying in our late 50s. Guess what the average life expectancy is of a gorilla? They living longer than us in the jungles. But if you take that gorilla and you domesticate it and you put it in a zoo, it dies at the same time or even earlier, showing you that we have become processed, domesticated human beings.
I was going to ask you that. Is that why we're dying? Because we're outside of our true
element? We're outside of our true element. And our true element is freedom. We are designed to be free. And the environment's supposed to be free and then complement us, because we can't separate environment from mindset. And that's what a lot of people think you can do, but you can't. Your environment is your mindset. The only way to express your mind or your consciousness is through your environment. It gets so deep with you actually wear your environment. Based on what a woman's wearing, I can tell if she's conservative. I can tell if I can hit the first night or not. I can tell what she's eating by the shape of her body. I can tell, what she buys by the perfume that she put on, the type of things that she put in her hair, the type of car that she drives. Is she gonna speak when I speak back? Do she got a man and is she representing her man? Or the same thing with a brother. I can tell if he a gangbanger. If he come and he's wearing all red and he got a red rag in his left side, you see what I'm saying? And he got tats on his face. He got long locks with a red hat on it, red rag. Okay, that's a gangbanger. He's a blood. Most likely he's from the west side of St. Louis. If I see another brother that got on all blue. He got a blue rag on the right side. He walking. He got a 40 ounce in his hand. Okay, this must be a Crip. He must be from Murderville. He from the north side of St. Louis. So we literally express and we wear our environment, because you can't separate environment from mind. Just like a man that pulls up and he's pull up in a Lamborghini, he jump out with a fresh suit on and he's tailor made and everything is buttoned up to the creed. He got his to the T and he got his tie on. This most likely is a businessman that's on his business and he own multiple businesses in real estate. So we see that we project our environment through our mind by what we put on, the fragrance we wear, the shoes we wear. We are a representation of our environment. So if you want to change who you are, you got to change your what? Environment. And that's that third step. We talked about religion. Then we actually talked about the actual food. Third step is rebuilding the environment. We have to rebuild the environment, because the environments that we in now, we didn't build. These things have been built for us, and they have been built for us for a reason, because these psychiatrists know that if we build the environment from them, we get to control their minds.
Wow. Powerful stuff. So with that being said, and you talked about how someone is dressed and how they, present themselves. But what about people that present themselves in a way, but is it their clothes or their job or their relationship is just a shell of who is not who they really are, but is a put on. And I think for so many of us, we get dressed up figuratively and literally in a way that really doesn't represent who we should be, right? And who we are.
But I believe in singularity. I don't think we just do things for everything you do is for a reason. So if you choose to dress that way today, that is a different cognitive functioning of your personality expressing itself. So if you chose to put that on today, that's because that's how you feel. That's who you are. Whether that's going to change day to day, you still show me a piece of your personality of who you are. You see that we won't put on nothing that we don't want to wear. If you have a free choice of dressing, won't nobody on planet Earth just go out and choose to put on something that don't represent them and their mindset. So the first thing you can tell how a woman is or how a man is look at their clothes. Second thing, check their hygiene. Look at their nails. Try to get a peek in their ears. See if their nose hairs are just hanging out their nose. Look and see if they keep keep their hair up. You can literally tell what a person is thinking and how they is by first you got to feel their energy, feel their energetic aura field. Next, look at what they got on, how they represent themselves. And then thirdly, check their hygiene. Fourthly, watch what comes out of their mouth. That's going to tell you everything about a person. You see what I'm saying? Most of the communication is nonverbal. Matter of fact, I think they say up to 92% of communication is nonverbal. So you wear who you are. You know what I'm saying? This is even at work. Even if you got a dress code at work, notice everybody got the same dress code, but everybody ain't wearing the same thing. You see what I'm saying? She might want to wear that dress a little bit more tighter. She might want to wear it a little, you know what I'm saying? So it all depends on who you are and how you trying to express your nature for the day.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom. I just seen that Yaki is coming to Detroit. Did you want to go?
Yes, I would love to go with you.
Yaki Awakening is coming to Wayne State.
Hey, bro, did y'all know Yaki Awakening is coming to Wayne State University?
Oh, me? What?
Bro, yeah, bro, go to your Instagram right now. His Instagram, YAHKIAWAKEND.
Oh, yeah, got him all right here.
Oh, yeah, we there.
Oh, yeah. In the Community Arts Auditorium. There. We there.
Did you see that? Yaki Awakening is going to be here. Yes, Wayne State, September 30th.
That's right. Detroit, Michigan, September 30th at the Wayne State University Community Arts Auditorium. That will be the next location for the Yaki Awakening Help and Liberation Tour. That's at 450 Rudolph Mall Road. That's right on the campuses of Wayne State University.
September 30th, Detroit, Wayne State University. See it?
Shalom. Peace, family. Make sure y'all come out to the Health and Liberation Conference, September 30th. You do not want to miss it.
A lot of information that you'll be able to hold on to. Let it trickle down into your family, to your seeds, and produce that generational wealth.
If you want to raise your vibrational frequency, you definitely want to be here on September 30th.
Peace, 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 love, light and healing, peace, love, light and healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I am Yaki Rapha Elohim. Everybody know me as Yaki Awakening. September 30th, we're going to be at Wayne State University at 450 Rudolph Mall Road. Make sure you come and check us out. Click on the link below, which is eventbrite.com. Get your tickets. They selling out fast, so make sure you cop them. And I'll see y'all on September the 30th. Peace.
This is going to be powerful, family. We want to see you there.
Yeah, and no, I get that, and I totally agree. However, I want to add to that, like how we cover up. So, say if I came here today with a long skirt down to the floor, I had my head covered, and that's how I dress every day. And somebody can assume that's the kind of person I want to be because I dress that way. But I guess what I'm getting to is that sometimes we could dress the way we want to be, but still have trauma dealing with and growing from the person we used to be, meaning that I went through this in my life, but I dress the way I want to be. But what happens when we don't address those things? Because no matter how I dress the way I want to be, who I'm running from, who I'm hiding from, the unforgiving, the unhealed me is going to come through that long.
Yeah, it's gonna show. Yeah, it's gonna show anyway, and there might be even though you got the long dress on, if you still promiscuous or if you still like a very sexual creature, that long dress might be super tight because you want your ass to show. You see what I'm saying? Or you can be completely dressed up, but you bend over more than what you're supposed to be doing because you want me to see your ass. You see what I'm saying? So it's different ways to communicate without verbal communication that shows somebody truly is. You can't hide who you is. You're going to express it in some type of way.
It's going to bleed out.
Yeah, but we need to be taught. This is why education is important. We need to be taught those things as men and as women to sit down and like, look, every communication ain't going to be verbal. This is how you can tell if something finna kick off. This is how you can tell if that woman really wants you or not. This is how you can tell if a man wants you just for the vagina. This is how you can tell if a man really is interested in you. Go by these such and such things, and then boom, you can come up with your necessity, your conclusion from that. You see what I'm saying? So education is very, very important.
Yeah, so I guess we could stay on the topic of men and women and relationships because that says a lot, like you said, how we dress, whether from the female perspective or the male perspective, like what we give off. And then just talking about rebuilding the Black community, rebuilding the home structure, and how we know we all, male and female, can do things to get attention, and sometimes they can come from a dark place of neglect, trauma, triggers, or anything of that nature. And I feel like today sometimes we are so about getting the attention, but not like doing what it takes to like go beyond attention. So now that I have you, now what, right? So we had a conversation off air, and I want to kind of bring you on air. And so I want to ask you, do you think that men being with more than one woman goes against nature? And we talked about how before Abraham, the Most High, it was okay in the scriptures for you to have more than, one
woman, yeah.
one woman, and it was okay. So now we are here in America or across the world, and it's like, no, if you have more than one wife, it is, it's against the law. And this, and
only in America.
Oh, okay.
The Western Hemisphere is the only people that practice it.
And I want to bring out this point, and I was actually talking to somebody about the scriptures one day, and we brought out this point together, and it's like, it's amazing how if you have more than one girlfriend, that's okay. But if you have more than one wife, it's against the law.
But a wife and a girlfriend is the same thing when you look at it from a cultural, ancient aspect. Yeah. There's really no difference. Back then, you didn't have a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. You courted her. You got to know her. So you courted her. Mm-hmm. All of this is after. So back then, marriages was scheduled. These things was already pre-selected. Then based off that pre-selection, then you enter to a court or a sporting phase. When you courting and you sporting a woman, she still is your woman. You just getting to know her, but she's already your wife. Yeah. Then you consecrated that commitment through sex. Mm-hmm. That's how you consecrated the actual marriage. But to answer your question, just personally, just talking about history, you won't see in history. And I'm not talking about Roman, Greek, homosexual history. I'm talking about real history, especially when you start getting into what you would call melanin or melanin history. Yes. You won't see anybody that is strong in warrior status. You won't see any king. You won't see any prince. You won't see anybody that's on a high level, whether it's spiritually, whether it's mentally, whether it's financially, on a high level that only had one woman. It just psychologically don't make sense into the ancient world. These are new concepts that have been introduced to the Western Hemisphere by the Roman-Grecan Church and by the Catholic Church. You see what I'm saying? So and what I want to do for people that's online and for people that want to hear this just because they think I'm teaching bigamist or, misogyny or anything like that, go research this stuff for yourself. You won't find no highly profiled man, no high successful man that's on a actual pedestal, that's handling his business, that's running an empire, that is truly a man that's dealing with one woman. That don't exist. Mm-hmm. And for the man that are dealing with one woman, because it's people out here, and I'm not knocking them, but let's be real with yourself. You probably miserable as hell dealing with one woman because it's not a part of your biological nature. By nature, by biology, men are naturally polygynous, whether we want to accept the fact or not. Now, I know I'm going to get some backlash from a lot of westernized cultural women minds, and that's cool. But I just want y'all to truly, truly go research that. We by nature is not supposed to be with one woman. Now, being with one woman, do that shows discipline? In a way, yes, it does. Do that show self-restraint? In a way, yes, it does. But me personally, I don't believe in that. That's not my lifestyle. I have never been with one woman. I don't desire to be with one woman. And I personally don't see the need for one woman in my life. Now, what somebody else do with their life, that's on them. I'm not knocking you. I'm not judging you. But from the hundreds of thousands of men that I have talked to, and out of those hundreds of thousands, the one that say they practice monogamy, they're miserable. And they have said that. I haven't met one that said that they was fully comfortable and that was happy with one woman. That's because he's naturally going against his biological nature, practicing monogamy. It's not in your nature. And I'm just not and I'm a nature dude. You see, that's all I talk about. I'm here to practice my nature. That's what I do. So, yeah.
So do you think that's what I'm just going to talk about the Black community because, again, we talk about Abraham, we talk about biblical references, and like you said, it goes against nature.
And I want to say something, too, for people that's online. I don't believe that a woman's supposed to pay bills at all. I don't believe that a woman's supposed to have any type of financial responsibilities. You see that? I don't believe that a woman's supposed to go to work or be working a 9 to 5 at all. I don't believe that. I believe that even if you got one woman, I believe she's supposed to be fully taken care of, for she can be relieved of all of her duties, for she can love you wholeheartedly, take care of you in a feminine way wholeheartedly, and raise the children wholeheartedly. So for anybody that think I'm on here and saying, or teaching or promoting men to go be in a polygynous relationship, I'm talking about on both sides of the spectrum. Me as a man, my women don't work. My women ain't got to go look for food. My women ain't got to do none of that. I completely financially provide for my household, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Not saying I'm a perfect man. I'm pretty sure I can work on some of those areas. But one thing she's not finna do is she's not finna have to get up and worry about how bills gonna get paid. Me, based off of that alone. So I'm not teaching men go out and have multiple women. I think if you're gonna have multiple women,
Do it the right way.
do it the right way and make sure that you can financially take care of them.
And making sure we're building a community versus having
just having drama and having sex and having babies and stuff like that. And I want to make this clear. I think it should be like that whether you have 5 women, 2 women, or 1 woman. She's supposed to be completely taken care of for you to truly be able to call her your woman. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people thinking, well, because I know a lot of women and a lot of men, they're gonna be like, well, he gonna have to, how you gonna take care of all of them? I'm not talking about that type of man. I think it take a selective type of man to be the type of man that I am. I know that I'm a part of like the 1%. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the luxury of taking care of multiple women and buying multiple homes. And so I'm speaking in a high caliber, but in your nature though, it's in your nature, it's in your biology, and everybody's supposed to be at the caliber that I'm at. But due to the monstrosities, due to the food, due to these constructs that they have built from us, due to these psychological prisons that we've been put in, they have stripped man from their place in nature, and it's time for us to go back and reclaim that.
Okay. And so with all of that being said, do you think that that has contributed to, I don't want to say the demise, but relationships going wrong, right? People that seem so perfect for each other after 10 years, 5 years, it's like call it quits because like you said, from the male perspective, he's miserable. From the woman perspective, she might be lonely because however we have a certain culture, right, within ourselves as a people, but then we are forced, even as women, right, not just as men, to adjust to this culture.
Yeah, facts. And it's messing us up.
And that's what I'm saying.
Facts.
It's not only messing up the man who, like you said, should be able to take care and provide and have that interaction with more than one woman. It's messing a woman up because there's certain things culturally that we have to do, like probably work 2 or 3 jobs.
Work 2 or 3 jobs, come home after working your 2 or 3 jobs. This is crazy. Think about this concept. You want me, so speaking as a woman, because I've been in this situation. A woman asked me this one time. You want me to go to work, work on 9 to 5, come home, and you expect me to cook a dinner for you and the children. After I cook the dinner, you want me to give you a blowjob, then you want me to give you some sex, and then then the house gotta be clean.
Help the kids with homework.
Help the kids with help the children. Hey, look, and I was young when this got presented to me because I've never been with one woman in my life. I always practiced religion. Man, that got put down to me. And as a man, just a smart financial man and the intellectual I am, I said, you know what? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. So, I feel like that is a big issue in the household. That's what make women, because a woman wants to be feminine in her nature. She's screaming and she's crying out to be feminine. And I believe that's the reason why the woman is doing the things that they're doing now. The things that they're actually doing that we say that they're degrading themselves is actually very feminine in nature. They just doing it at the wrong time and most definitely in the wrong place. You do that in the bedroom, in your household with your king, but they're screaming out to have their femininity shown, and they don't know how to do it the proper way because we don't have any elder women in the community to show them the right way, or they don't have any examples, and we don't have men playing a part and playing a role. I think if you take away all those masculine financial responsibilities from the woman, she can fall in place properly in her divine feminine. And that's the most beautiful thing, to see a woman in that. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I believe that's a part of it. And I believe the other part is men are running from who they're biologically natural. Men are running from their biological nature. A lot of men are depressed because they dealing with only one woman for all these many years. And he got high porn in his phone. He got high conversations of him texting other women. Some of them getting apps on their phone, texting other women. Some of them are lying to themselves. And that's a form of cowardness too, to want to deal with other women or dealing with other women women and lying to your woman and saying you're not. If you're dealing with another woman, be honest. As long as you taking care of your business, you might be cool. She might go with it. If you taking away all of those financial stresses and all those mental stresses and emotional stresses from the household, she might just say, okay, she might be cool with it. And if she not, be man enough to say, you know what, this ain't gonna work. I'm gonna go find a woman that is cool with being that way. You see what I'm saying? I just don't, all the lies and the tucking the tails and the cowardness that man is displaying now is just a disgrace to me. And not only that, a man that's not truly doing everything in his power to make sure his woman is good and financially, emotionally, and just any type of thing that the woman need is not secure, then he got more work to do. And it's a lot of men like that. You just got more work to do. So I think that's what's going on. The woman is not getting everything she needs in the household because she have to play a masculine role, and the man is not getting everything in the household because the woman being masculine, now she yelling, she screaming, she not gonna listen. She feeling, he don't feel because he's not taking care of his responsibility. She gonna say some things that she wouldn't say to her boss because her boss paying her bills. It ain't you. So, you know what I'm saying? The same, she ain't gonna cuss her boss out the way she cuss you out.
A lot of displacement going on.
A whole lot of displacement. But what will solve that and fix that in the so-called black community is simple education. That's it. And I think us being honest, not only with each other, but to ourselves will make a big difference. That's why I will never lie to a woman. I will never lie to a woman off back. Yes, I got multiple wives. You can meet them. This is what it is. You ain't finna be with me all the time. I'm a busy man. I'm always on the road. You ain't gonna be able to spend 24/7 with me. There's been multiple attempts of murder on my life. So it's gonna be certain situations where you can't come with me to every lecture and every seminar. I'm gonna need you home with my children. But hey, the benefit part of this, I get to teach you spiritually. You know, I get to teach you mentally. I can teach you emotionally. We can ground together. We can breathe together. I can teach you all these different things, and I will fully financially take care of you. You don't never have to think about anything masculine ever in your life. That's the benefit with being with me. To some women, that's not enough, and that's cool with us. That's cool. But I'm glad we had this conversation before we went deeper. When I catch you on the street, you'll get a high five and a hug, and that's it. You know, no hard foul there. And I just think us being honest like that is what's going to really, really catapult us to be a better people and have better relationships within our households.
I think what you said is so powerful because, you know, I'm a big person on love. I love seeing people in love and everything like that. And I think within the black community, I wish we all could just get back to that. And what you saying, being transparent to say, listen, this is what I want. This is what I need. Even if what you want and need changes within a relationship, I think it's important to say like, okay, I thought I wanted to be one woman, but now, like, you're a good person. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, but I want more than one woman.
But now I want more than one. And I think that transparency will hurt, but I think...
I'm telling you, she either going to be like, let me think about it, or she going to leave. And guess what this will do? This will gain so much respect from her to you versus you going out cheating, being a coward about it, sleeping with all these women and sweeping it under the rug. No, keep it a buck. Keep it 100. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, you have to die. I have to die. We don't have no time to waste. Live your life. Just make sure that when you live in your life and I'm living mine, that it's in correspondence with each other. And the moment that it's not, let's talk about it. And if we can't come to agreement, maybe we need to think about doing new things. And that's all I'm saying. And I just think if everybody operated like that, we'd be good. When you look in the book of Genesis, right, it's an amazing thing that happened with God. God the Father created Adam and Hawa, or what you would call Adam and Eve. Notice that the Father created all things. The Father, he supplied nature that grew food. He supplied a house. He supplied the water. Remember, talked about the 4 rivers and Euphrates and all of those that ran through the garden. He provided gold. Remember talking about gold that was in Havilah? He provided all these things for Adam. So the Father worked his ass off to create this situation and this inheritance to give to Adam, right? Once Adam received those things, he received the house. He received the Garden of Eden. He received the food. He received the water. So now he have water that he can provide. He have food that he can provide. He have a house that he can provide. And he have minerals, or what you would call gold, or what you would call back currency. The moment that happened, what did he tell Adam? He told him to keep the garden, meaning learn how to be responsible from these things once and be accountable for what I just gave you. I just gave you an inheritance that you can provide to somebody else. Before you can even provide this for somebody else, make sure that you are responsible enough to actually keep up with the inheritance that I gave you, showing you that the man must be the most hardest working man in the world because we need things to provide to our sons and our daughters. Right after that, we have to teach them how to maintain what we worked hard for them, right? Now, look, right after he was able to maintain that, what he do? He put Adam to sleep, and out of his rib, he created a woman. The woman didn't come before the house. The woman didn't come before the food. The woman didn't come before the water. The woman didn't come before the land. The woman didn't become for all of this was providing, and Adam was made to keep up with it before he had a woman. Now he created the woman, and the woman was able to walk into a situation once she left from her father, because her father did his job too. And his job was provide a house, provide food. So a woman should not never leave from her father that's getting provided for, and then go to a man that's not providing for the woman. That just, it psychologically doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I think through that nature, through going against or violating that nature is where you get a woman that you cannot control. Because if you're doing everything that you're supposed to be as a man, you don't even have to control the woman. Guess what's going to control her? She's going to naturally submit because the environment controls her mindset. Because she's in an environment where she don't have to be speaking out of terms. She's in an environment where she don't have to be worried about how a bill going to get paid. She's in an environment where she don't have to worry about, damn, well, I need to cook some food, but I ain't even got no food to cook for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about that. And I'm not sitting here bashing men at all, because I'm a manly man and I love my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm a polygynous man. I love women. I would never be with one woman in my life. But you still have to bring yourself to that position to be able to provide that. And I think a lot of us don't have a God like the God in the Bible that created this whole atmosphere to give an inheritance to Adam and then show him how to maintain his inheritance, then bring him Eve. So we need to start doing that to ourselves and teaching the young males in the community to do the same thing. Act just like God did. Create the Garden of Eden for your son. Make sure that he's growing food on his property. Make sure that he have natural water on his property. Make sure he have a house. Show him how to protect and keep that property. Then go get your woman.
Yeah. No, listen, what you just said, that's awesome. And how you broke it down of like, get what you need to get before you bring somebody into that in your environment. And I think oftentimes we do the opposite. We get someone and then say, let's build together. But sometimes in building together, which is nothing wrong with it.
I think something's wrong is building a foundation together. I think that's completely wrong.
No, I'm saying like building, like you're going to grow together.
Oh, yeah. Growing together. Yeah.
Yes. But however, what happens is when you have to build the foundation together, or you got to build everything brick, even if the Most High gives you the fortitude to keep going, something that I often pray now is like when I'm going through stuff, where whoever is affected by it, help them still to be preserved in the process, because you don't know what's going to cost in that sacrifice. And so sometimes it's like, oh yeah, we're going to hustle together, we're going to get this together. But what's being cost at that sacrifice?
Yeah, it's not, because it don't work, because women are not made to build. Yeah. Women are made to maintain. Yeah. Women are made to complete. Men are made to build.
Or multiply what you put.
Exactly. We build the house, you make it a home. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. We have sex. I ejaculate my sperm into you. You create a baby from that through your dermis, through your tissue, through your ectoderm, your mesoderm. You know what I'm saying? So we are made to build. Y'all are made to maintain. Mm-hmm. And I think once we switch them roles and women begin to build and men begin to maintain, you find depression because you're going outside of your nature and you're expressing something that's not a part of your biology, whether we're talking about psychologically, mentally, or emotionally and spiritually. So yeah.
Definitely.
And I think we just need a school. I think we need a school just based off of that. Mm-hmm. With no math, no nothing. Yes. Just a school based off relationships. Listen, like, this is relationship. This relationship class. You know what I'm saying? This relationship class.
I'm very transparent, or this recorded, or this live, really putting it out there. Even at the age of 42, I'm still trying to learn. And sometimes when you learn as you go, you make it better, but at what cost?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I stopped trying to control women, though. I don't want to control you. I want you to respect me, respect what I do for you, respect what I have built and brought to you to bring you in. And from that respect, you love me, and you love me enough to control yourself for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to control you. I want you to see me as the true God I am, and offer me being that and allowing to share this space with you, that you love yourself enough to control yourself. You love me enough to control yourself. And you already know, I want to be considered. For everything that he have built for us, for everything he have did, let me consider this man. Every time I'm finna make a decision for what he have done for me, for what he have done for his children, let me just consider him. And I just think that's going to take the man loving the woman properly. And it's hard to love a woman properly when we never really received that, you know what I'm saying, from our mothers and from our fathers. So again, we have to go back to the drawing board. We have to revamp culture. Yeah. We have to revamp this culture. And, you know, and I was talking about this yesterday when I was on Big Facts, and I was talking about how culture, if you look at the word culture, it comes from cultivating, and cultivating means to grow. It's a former technology or a husbandry technology, a husbandman, because true husbandman was a farmer. Even the word, look, and this shows you what man's supposed to do for the woman. Husband come from the word husbandmen. Husbandmen means farmer and provider. Look it up. It will blow your mind. Husbandmen was those that was planting seeds in the ground, growing food, gathering that food, cleansing that food, and bringing it back to the family. That is us at our nature. So you can't even say that you are a husband without even being a husbandman. And you can't say you're a husbandman if you're not providing. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So even in the words that we give ourselves, we're supposed to hold ourselves to a high standard and be doing everything in our power to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our titles. But I think we need a class, like for real, like a true sex education. Let's do it for real.
I really think it is needed because, again, if we, you know, and stop waiting for someone else to do it, but if we see what's wrong within ourselves and say, okay, I could name 100 things wrong with my partner, but what am I bringing to it? And also, am I willing, like you said, we're not made to listen, that rebellion is it. Are we willing to go against the grain to be good? Because a lot of us suffer in silence and relationships we're not happy in, or just going against our natural habitat. So within that, you're forcing yourself to be happy because this is what society says.
Exactly.
This is what happiness like. This is what the American dream looks like. This is what the marriage construct looks like. And sometimes it's really sad, Yaki, because what really I feel like happens is you are experiencing trauma that you don't even know you're experiencing because you think this is what I've been told. I get married. This is what marriage is. There's one woman, one man. We go to work. We build a home. We go in debt. We travel.
That sounds like the most boring thing I ever heard.
Yeah, but that's the
We're going to be with each other for the rest of our lives. We're going to work 9 to 5s together. Only time we go on vacation is planned vacations, and we got to holler at our bosses. Yes. Like I'm not even comfortable. Yeah. That's crazy to me, though.
We call it a dream.
The American dream. Wow.
So that's what I'm saying.
The house with the white picket fence, the Labrador dog that runs around the backyard.
Kids, right?
You know what I'm saying? 2.5. Man, look, we have been bamboozled as a people. Seriously, we have to revamp the culture, and I think Nabi, write that down. We need to have a just from a man point of view, and we can even bring you and a few women on just to show different types of ways that marriage is supposed to be. Yeah. You know, that relationships supposed to be. It's time to do that.
Listen, we definitely do need to do that. We need to have more open forums where men and women could just tell their side of the story, because everybody has a side, everyone has an opinion, and the woman can say, well, the man is being more this, and then the man can say that. But again, we all are fighting against our natural forces.
Facts.
Again, for listening to you, a lot of us are learning for the first time today what our natural forces are, and like, oh, that's why I'm irritable, or that's why I'm unhappy, because I'm naturally supposed to be this way.
But if you go back to nature, like for instance, you can tell the role of a woman and the role of a man just by your anatomy. You are naturally smaller than me. Your bones are naturally fragile than mine. You know, your bones are narrower than mine. Your frame is petite. Mine is broad. Whether I'm short or not, I still have a wide frame, showing you that I'm naturally your protector. Since I'm naturally your protector, of course, I'm going to have to be your provider and go hunt or go get food for you. You know what I'm saying? You're more of you're built to nurture. That's why your breasts produce milk, mine don't. So that means that baby's supposed to be on your tit when it's hungry. So it shows you the baby need to eat every hour. Then when it gets to 3 months, it needs to eat every 2 to 5 hours. You see what I'm saying? So this shows you that you need to be at home with who? The baby. My biological structure show I need to be out working, providing, to make sure that you and the baby is taken care of and good. So even based off of our biology and anatomy, it shows the same thing that nature shows us when it talks about a man supposed to be providing and taking care of the household, and the woman supposed to be maintaining and teaching the household. I teach you, you teach the children. I provide for you, you provide for the children. I feed you, you feed the children. I make love to you and love on you, and you love on the children. It's yes, it's the bestower and the receiver. I bestow, you receive, and then you become the bestower to the children, and they receive, and then when they get children, they become it's a reciprocal relationship. And I just think we are so far out of our roles, everybody is just taking from each other, nothing is being given. So we end up hating each other because we look at each other like users. What have I gained from you these last 7 years? Nothing but heartache, pain, a headache. I want to mess with other women because it's in my nature and I can't. I'm cheating behind your back. I'm probably more in love with the woman I'm cheating on you for because I get to at least play my role with her. But if she really knew I was coward at nature, she wouldn't want to be with me either. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we need to come together, put everything on the table, say, look, we both messed up. There's a bunch of trauma built up. We both have these different programs from society in us. This is what it is. How can we fix that? And I think this is what's going to fix the problem in the Black household.
Well, listen, you answered my next question, and which was, how do we learn to properly love and get married based on our culture and the Most High? But you just
love. So if you look in the Bible, love. So love is a very, very interesting word. In Hebrew, love is ahav. So and if I want to say I love you in Hebrew, I'll say ani ahavata. I love you. Ahav, if you look at it, it literally means to give one yourself. But if you look at it in its deeper essence, it means to give God, the God in you, to another. So I can't truly say I love you unless I have gave you the God in me. That's how I love you. When you look at me, you're supposed to see God. And what guys do, he provide. What guys do, he protect. What God do, he care for. So that's love. Then you got the opposite side of love, which is still in love, just on the other spectrum, which is sacrifice. For God so loved the world, he did what? He gave his only begotten son. Or it says, husbands, love your wives as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. So you got two spectrums of love. One is actually caring, providing, bestowing, giving God. The other love is sacrifice. So if a man ain't provided for you, if a man ain't sacrificed for you, if a man ain't actually went and worked hard and dropped some sweat to make sure that you was taken care of, that's not love. And the crazy thing about a woman is a woman really don't love a man. A woman respects a man. That's how we look at it. So in order for you to love me, I'm not looking whether you a freak in the bed. I'm not looking whether you can suck me right. I'm not looking whether you can be, you know what I'm saying, be quiet and listen and not say nothing. In order for you to show me that you love me, you respect me as the man I am. But the only thing about women is women naturally respect a man on what they give. So if you're not giving, and you're not providing, and you're not paying the bills, and you're not laying down law, and you're not teaching, you're not worried about her emotions, then she gonna talk to you crazy any type of way. So what I noticed was I don't have them problems in my household, but I used to have those problems in my household. When I look back and see why I wasn't getting respected in my household is because I wasn't being the God who I said I was. But once I started operating and being who I said I was, I don't see that at all. I don't have no arguments, no problems, no nothing in my household because I am meeting my end of the bargain, which is being the man that not the woman called me to be, but the man that God called me to be. I'm being my nature. Me being in nature, acting out my nature is going to automatically make you play your role because you going to feel less than the woman if you don't.
If you don't. And I truly do believe that because I often said this in private conversations, with people that when the man returned back to the Most High, the family.
I'm telling you,
because everything will fall in line. And as much as one probably to say, because when you don't understand the word submissive, you think of the negative thing. But think about it from this perspective. Even the man has to submit. He has to submit to the Most High.
Yes.
And then he has to submit to. He still has to submit to his greatness.
Hold on. You just said it. A man have to truly submit to himself, which is very, very hard for a man to do because our nature, our biology is to be free. If you look at us in our name,
with discipline.
Yeah, with discipline, because men are very gluttonous, and I mean with everything. We gluttonous with food, we gluttonous with fun, we gluttonous with women. We are just gluttonous by nature, and but the God put that in us for us to keep ourselves motivated or to keep chasing something, which is our greater selves. But in order to get to your greater selves, you have to tame that gluttoness, or what you would call have self-discipline to even be who you are. And that's what makes a man respected. Notice the man is not respected for having the most cars. The man is not respected for having the most women. That is a thing that other men looked at and say, I want that. But the man is truly respected by other men and women by what they had to do and what they had to sacrifice to get what I just said. Dang, in order for him to get that Bugatti, he had to work hard 24 hours a day. He probably worked 36 hours, didn't get no sleep. He had to sacrifice sleep to work that hard to get that. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Dang, that man wasn't afraid. He fought that man. I know he probably was scared. I ran from that man when that man stepped to me, but he fought him. He had to sacrifice fear to stand up for himself. I respect that. Dang, a man that's able to maintain more than one woman, all those different damn personalities. Not only he got to have a high sex drive, he doing his thing in that bedroom, but he have some type of psychological stableness to him because he's able to maintain multiple personalities in children. Dang, I respect that man. He sacrificed time. He sacrificed himself. He worked hard. So when you look at what we really look at other men and be like, man, I respect him. It ain't from what they showing us. It's how did they get what they showing us? It had to be through discipline. So we respect the discipline in man, just like a female respect a disciplined man.
Wow, that's real powerful. So I'm enjoying this. I wish this could go on forever, but I want to talk about what you just said about being able to provide those different things, especially like the sex drive, because outside of financial providing, emotional and time, right? People would say that, well, every man is not able to provide that for multiple women, right? Mm-hmm. Or some men just like that. Some people would say some men just like that ability, but you could agree or disagree. Tell me what you think. Like, do you feel like when a man is actually on a higher vibration, the woman she would need less physical touch because everything else is there? Not saying that they would.
I think physical touch is needed. Period. Because I mean, even a baby is required physical touch. You will see that if you don't touch an infant can die from the lack of human contact. This is scientifically proven. So we are all put here to have physical touch. But then you have that different touch. Yeah. If a man is doing his job, if a man is healthy and he is truly putting it down in the bedroom like he's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Of course, a woman is naturally, they naturally have higher sex drive than man. Of course, they're going to want it. Naturally. Yes, y'all do. That's a natural thing. Yes, because progesterone, pregnenolone, and estrogen. Yes, y'all naturally have a higher sex drive. In fact, y'all sex drive get higher when y'all go on your ovulation period because your body is ready to conceive. We smell y'all pheromones. Me, I can literally smell the pheromones of a woman because I'm clean. I'm always eating good. You know, I'm meditating. But men smell it too subconsciously, which makes them horny and make them want to reproduce. Half the time, men be thinking that they want you because you have a round butt and you got nice plump breasts and you beautiful. Literally, they smelling the pheromones. It's like a dog in heat. We do the same thing biologically. We just haven't been taught to tap into those things. So we think that it's the breast and the round behind. And that plays a part in it too. Because when you look at a thick woman with round hips, the hips are spreaded for them to get ready to conceive. So we looking at it as a sexual way, which we supposed to, but it's really to repopulate the earth. We just have over sexualized it due to Europeans and just the pervertness of our culture. But I think if a man is spending quality time, you know, it don't have to be every day, all day. I think the man's supposed to be the mystery of the household. Yeah. I think I'm supposed to be. I think I'm supposed to like. You should be able to be away from the household, but still be in your household. And the way you do that is through your presence and what you teach your children and your women. So I'm always gone. I'm always on the road. If you look back in the ancient history, every king, every warrior, they was gone. Even the Kohanim, or what you would call the priests in Hebrew, they was in the temple 6 months out of a year. So the woman didn't see that man for 6 months, but she still maintained the household and she still was happy. How was that able to be done? By maintaining that mystery status. A woman want her man to be a mystery, want to be dreamy. Like, oh, you're just so dreamy. When I see you, it's like God himself walked through the door and I run to you, jump in your arms, the children run. Daddy, daddy, you remain a mystery. Now, how do you do that? How you remain the mystery is, for one, I don't think a man personally should tell a woman all of his declines is in his house. Don't ever complain to your woman about masculine things. Don't complain about paying bills to your woman. That sounds weak to a woman. It sounds like one day you're going to give up on her. You know what I'm saying? Don't complain about how tired you is. Go and show her that you willing to do everything to make sure that this family's good. I'm going to work 48 hours straight if I have to make sure y'all good. Always show her your strengths. Show her your strengths. Only time you truly, truly show her that side is when you feel like she needed to reassure her that y'all have a deeper emotional connection than just y'all basic blueprint of marriage. That's going to keep you a mystery. Dang, my man hard, my man tough. He a protector. He a provider. This man cried one time within 10 years of me being with him. So he's not a sissy. He not a take life. He's a man. He's a high profile man. Then in the bedroom, you got to learn how to dominate her when she needed, have rough sex with her when she needed, and to make love to her. You got to learn all of that. Learn her body. Do she like to be touched? Do she like to be licked? Do she like her toes sucked? Some women love it. Do she like her toes sucked while you in it? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? What you do behind closed doors is what you do. But make sure you have to learn her body. And a lot of men think that it's wrong to ask a woman, teach me how to please you. They think it sounds like it's just, oh, you should order it. No, women love, and a woman love that. Yeah. And I think women naturally love that. If you ask them that, look, next time we make love, teach me how to please you. And I think if we did all of that, and then once you master your woman body, put it down, remain the mystery, she gonna want you. And then the more time you spend away from her, the more time she gonna want with you. And then when you with her, create those moments that last forever. And I think that's how you're able to maintain your woman. Same thing with your children. The more and more, this is scientifically proven, the more and more you around your children, they literally start losing certain type of respect for you. So what I have done with my children, even if I'm with them every day, I learn to separate myself from them. That way, when they see me, it's Abba, because they call me Abba. They speak Hebrew. Abba, I miss you. Then when I'm coming with gifts. I'm coming with toys. I'm coming with celebration. So every time they see me, they getting celebrated. Every time they see me, they getting a gift. Every time they see me, I'm going off on them knucklehead. I'm probably roughing them up. So I think that a man can maintain a spicy relationship by being that mystery to his woman and to his children. And it's kind of hard sometimes because sometimes it can become a thin line when you go on too long and then they really be needing you. Yeah. Sometimes we have a long time when we on the road, what I'm saying? And things like that, just keep up the communication. We in the age of technology. FaceTime your children, talk to them, read them a book while you're on FaceTime. Sometimes you might need to be on the phone with your woman and, hey, I know I ain't gonna be back in a couple months, go in the back room a little bit. Let's be on FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just saying, whatever you have to do, whatever you have to do to keep up that, whatever you got to do to keep up that momentum in that relationship, just get it done. But yeah, women want mystery. They want a mystery man. Yeah. A lot of women say they don't, but they do. They want that mystery man. They want that superhero, that God. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like I said, being of the culture, but also being...
oh, hold on. Look, check this out, y'all. Somebody said it's because too much presence decreased the value. That is absolute facts, brother. Powerful. That is absolute facts. You just said what I just took 20 minutes to say what you just said. Brother, that is absolute fact. The more and more you get of something, the less you want it. Like for me, women throw themselves at me so much. You can ask these brothers. I just be like, no. You know what I'm saying? The more and more somebody don't know, and us as men, we want a fight. Yeah. We don't want you just to give it up to us. Let me pursue. I'm a hunter. I'm a conqueror. Let me pursue you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Play hard to get. Don't play too hard to get, because a man will go find something else. But I'm saying you got to find that balance and know when to fold them and know when to hold them too. So yeah, facts.
Yeah, and so that was a great answer from the male point of view, but now for the women, because we are in like I said, we know we are trying to find our culture, but we are in a Western society, right? So because I don't want to get backlash and say for most women or all women, but there are women who like time. Like for me, my love language is time and quality time, right? But then you talk about that mystery and time apart. So if that can help heal our relationship, providing separation, how do we go about doing it in a healthy way where we can appreciate it and still not feel neglected?
You can only figure that out through experience. Okay. So what I would say without that, and that's a good question. You've been asking some good questions too, Goddess. So what I would say with that is you come up with an agreement. This is my schedule. I'm gonna be gone this much. Let's try this out. If that is becoming traumatic and basically hurting you in a way where it's not healthy, then let's rework out the schedules. You know what I'm saying? Let's rework out the schedules. That's what I would do. But when once you with each other and you done been in each other, especially especially when you having raw sex, the connection is crazy. So you know when you need to get home. And you know what I'm saying? And she know when she need to come and make sure that you good. So you got to fill each other out. And that's the reason why you have to learn each other. It's not called sexual intercourse for a reason. You're really entering a course and learning each other biology. You swapping out genetic material and you swapping out spirits. You know, you becoming one, you becoming in unison. So you got to follow the flow too. And a lot of people are so dumbed down off the food, so dumbed down off of television programming or this construct of a relationship have been taught to us by Europeans that we don't know when to fold. We don't know when to, I know she need me right now. Let me get there. And that's a lot of egos that's in play.
I heard you talk about this on another podcast you did about sexual intercourse and how everything is sexual energy and that is not necessarily penetration.
Yeah,
right?
everything is sexual energy.
So with that being said, I know our time is winding down. I just have two more questions for you. And with regard to sexual intercourse, should people wait till they get married to have sex?
So to me, sex is the consecration of marriage.
Okay.
So that's how it look. If I go into you, because I don't believe in using condoms. They have spermicides in them. It causes prostate cancer. So once, to me, and I make that known. Like if we gonna have sex, then we finna be, because I don't want my we mine. If we gonna go this far, we swapping out spirits and genetic material. You mine. So if you look at any ancient text, the sex actually consecrated the marriage. I don't believe in girlfriend and boyfriend. If we having raw, unprotected sex, again, I'm not using a condom. So of course, if I'm going to make love, it's going to be raw, unprotected. We're going to have to make sure that this is it. You know what I'm saying? You mine, I'm yours. Let's build. These are the benefits. And I believe in sitting down and actually writing down benefits. Look, this is how you benefit from this. This is how I benefit from that. This is what we're trying to get to. This is your role. This is my role. If anything be deviated from this role, just like with anything, because these are jobs or roles that we plan for each other, everything is open for renegotiation, or we got to terminate the contract and go our separate ways. So I don't believe in just having casual sex at all. It's too dangerous and it's too spiritual. It's too important. So if we're going to be having sex, you know what I'm saying? We together, you mine.
Deeper than a one night stand.
They have to be. Yes.
Even in a relationship that you see long term, there still needs to be a deeper commitment than you just boyfriend and girlfriend because of what is being.
And that's why I don't believe in boyfriend and girlfriend at all. And what's crazy is you will not find boyfriend and girlfriend in no ancient text. That is a American thing that just now have infiltrated other countries. Boyfriend and girlfriend is so new. If you anybody in the ancient world, you said that word, they'd be like, what? You talking about courting? She's already my wife, predestined, right? It's already been selected. Now I'm just getting to know her, and then we're going to consecrate the marriage through sex, and then after that we have a celebration because I just took her virginity, and we're going to jump over brooms, we're going to eat cake, we're going to celebrate, they're going to blow trumpets, all of this other stuff to show that I have wedded her. Wedded her mean you bedded her. If you wedded that woman, you bedded that woman. You got her in her bed, or in your bed, should I say. Now she's yours. Now it's up to you to have the celebration or the marriage ceremony to show all the man in the kingdom that she took in. That was the whole point for the celebration. The celebration wasn't to make the woman feel good. She felt good when you was in her in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? The celebration is to show the kingdom that she belonged to you. And that way, if any man step to her, then you got to go to war. Because you seen me bring her. You seen me bring her out and show her off to the community claiming that she's mine. And that goes to the next thing too, that all women is not that secret stuff. Women ain't meant to be hid either. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she a beautiful eye candy anyway, put her on you. But we do have in the day and age I am, government been after me, multiple attempts on my life, cutting my brake lines and all types of other stuff. So I have to kind of put my woman in the shadow per se, because I just don't want them to know who my women and children is. But if you speaking in a regular sense, that people that's not of a high profile that's doing what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Your woman is your necklace. You're going to want to put her on, especially if she's beautiful. You ain't wearing diamonds and big gold chains for yourself. It's to be seen. That's the same thing as your woman. And in the scripture, especially in Proverbs 31, it says that she's worth a virtuous woman. It said that she's worth more than rubies. She's worth more than silver and gold. And it said her husband and her man praised her. Look at what it said though. It said she woke up early in the rising before the husband and the children to take care of her family and her household. She was even in the real estate. It said she look at a field and she meditate on it and she go buy the field. She was she multiplying the land. Remember, she sold. She bought the best silks, the best fabrics. She was taking that bag from that man and going to get the household in order. But guess who was providing the bag? The man. He at home sleep because he ain't got no job. He a CEO. He running stuff. He at home sleeping while she out getting a house together from the legacy that he built from that. And from that, it said, it said that the man was high profile. It says that the elder praised him at the gates. So that means everybody knew who this man was. He was of high stature, and he got a woman to complement his stature. And I think that's another thing we do too. Highly calibrated man be getting very, very low calibrated women, and it doesn't match up, and vice versa. So you get later on down the line and you looking like, damn, why was I even with this woman? Oh, the fat butt, the big breasts, but it's not equaling up energy wise or success wise. Same thing with the man. You're like, why did I get this man? Oh, because he got a big Johnson. He not to please me well. I can have an orgasm, but he don't provide. He don't know how to bring food in. He can't build. He don't know how to work. He can't change your brakes. And then he ain't got the money to go get your brakes done if you need them done. So we have to make sure that we looking at the actual characteristics, the integrity, and the responsibilities in people before we start laying with them too. Because just because it look good don't mean that it's actually good for us.
Yeah. Listen,
you didn't turn this into a whole relationship podcast. You know that, right?
Listen, because I feel like in addition to like once we start eating the food, once we understand tilling our land and all of that, you know, what's the point of being healthy physically and emotionally? We going home to bad relationships.
Exactly.
We're not producing family structures where our family can go. And so, like I said, transparency, I guess, for the whole world to hear. Like, I want to be better. I'm not perfect, but I do want that.
And me too. I'm not perfect, and I'm getting better every day as a husband, as a man, as a father too.
And I want that relationship where we can grow and we understand our role, so we can do it from a healed place. So I love the fact as we bring this show, you know, to a close and this opportunity to a close, that we end on that Proverbs 31.
Okay, before we do that, I just want to do this. Just for the man out there that's wondering everything I've been talking about. Get into farming, get into permaculture, and treat your land how you would treat your land and grow your food. Treat your woman the same way. You cannot go wrong. You know, once you buy land, you invest in it. So invest in your woman. Once you invest in your woman, buy seeds, you know, plant seeds in her. Make sure that she's able to reproduce and repopulate, for you can let your genealogies live through her. Make sure you watering her like you water your plants, you water your food. Make sure you tilling the ground, meaning have sex with her. Make sure that the sex is good. Make sure that you're reaping benefits from her, because if you're doing everything right, treating her right, making sure she's getting sunlight, making sure she's getting the proper water, making sure she's getting the proper nutrients and soil, or taking care of her and providing and protecting from her, the harvest is going to be plentiful. You're going to get every fruit that you need, every vegetable that you need. It's going to feed you and be good to your soul. So your woman is like your land. Your woman is like your soil. If you plant the right seeds and if you water it, be responsible and take care of it, you will actually reap benefits from her harvest.
Yes, listen, that's a great way to end it. What I would add that for everyone listening now on live, or they will listen to the recording later, is that what I get from everything you say, Yaki, as we work on our physical, we have to slow down. Like, we are such in a fast-paced life, so we have to slow down not only to get the right foods in our body, but to slow down to get the right mentality, to get the right emotional, get the trauma out of us. And sometimes, as much as, you know, society will put us on this time clock, oh, you gotta be married by this time, the best thing you can do for yourself and future generations is slow down enough to get the healing you need, so everyone around you can reap that benefit. And so, like I said, to everyone listening, I would just encourage everyone to slow down, get what you need to get, so we can do a better job of reproducing a great generation of, you know, mothers and fathers who want to, you know, just be in love, right? In whatever capacity that is, right? And then create another generation who grow in love as well, right? Because I could go to work, or I could build, or I could stay at home and do whatever. And when I'm happy or I'm in love and I know somebody loved that, when we act different, you walk different. You know what I mean?
You can tell. Look, there's even sayings. There's a saying when a woman got a good man, they be like, what then got into you glowing, girl? You got you a new man. You worried on you. Because remember, the mindset or the consciousness represents the environment. You build that proper environment for a woman, it's going to show. It's going to show through her respectfulness. It's going to show through her submissiveness. Whether y'all like the word or not, y'all are naturally submissive creatures when y'all getting everything that y'all want. Y'all are. When y'all getting everything y'all need, y'all good. You know what I'm saying? It's going to show through your countenance. It's going to show through your smile, your walk. You're going to look like that you are being taken care of. And so, you know, and it's the same thing I said for men. gardening and farming, that's how he's supposed to treat his women. Women, make sure that you are good enough soil for men to put their seed in.
Yeah.
Make sure that you are good enough rich soil, that you full of minerals, that you've been good, that you've been taught, that you've been tilled right. That man don't have a man won't have a problem coming and planting this seed in you and investing that time, money, protection, and all those things that he need to even see that harvest. It's on both sides of the spectrum.
Yep, and that's powerful. So I would say, listen, everyone out there listening, do the work and then listen to the plan that the Most High has for your life, and everything that you want will come to you naturally. So that's how I end. Do the work on yourself individually, and then everything that you seek will find its way to you. Thank you for your time. Yaki.
Appreciate you.
Definitely great. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. And listen, until we do our part 2, Yaki.
Right, part 2, we talking about health. She done went totally. You done turned this into a whole relationship podcast, man. It's all good though. Maybe it was needed. Maybe it was needed.
I think it was needed, Yaki. I think we're going to see that it was needed because this is part of our health. This is our emotional health, our well-being health. So yeah. So after we eat healthy, we can love healthy.
Facts.
So peace and blessings.
Ashe. Shalom, shalom, y'all.
Shalom,
Peace.
shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom. I just seen that Yaki is coming to Detroit. Did you want to go?
Yes, I would love to go with you.
Yaki Awakening is coming to Wayne State.
Hey, bro, did y'all know Yaki Awakening is coming to Wayne State University?
Oh, me? What?
Bro, yeah, bro, go to your Instagram right now. His Instagram, YAHKIAWAKEND.
Oh, yeah, got him all right here. Oh, yeah, he's there.
Oh, yeah.
In the Community Arts Auditorium. There. We there.
Did you see that? Yaki Awakening is going to be here. Yes, Wayne State, September 30th.
That's right. Detroit, Michigan, September 30th at the Wayne State University Community Arts Auditorium. That will be the next location for the Yaki Awakening Help and Liberation Tour. That's at 450 Rudel Mall Road. That's right on the campuses of Wayne State University.
September 30th, Detroit, Wayne State University. See it?
Shalom. Peace, family. Make sure y'all come out to the Health and Liberation Conference, September 30th. You do not want to miss it.
A lot of information that you'll be able to hold on to. Let it trickle down into your family, to your seeds, and produce that generational wealth.
If you want to raise your vibrational frequency, you definitely want to be here on September 30th.
Peace, 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 love, light and healing, peace, love, light and healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I am Yaki Rapha Elohim. Everybody know me as Yaki Awakening. September 30th, we're going to be at Wayne State University at 450 Rudel Mall Road. Make sure you come and check us out. Click on the link below, which is eventbrite.com. Get your tickets. They selling out fast, so make sure you cop them. And I'll see y'all on September the 30th. Peace.
This is going to be powerful, family. We want to see you there.